Since the year 1999, the Sansui Summer Cup has been won on 3 occasions by horses trained at the Vaal. And I refer back to 1999 when El Picha was victorious for Geoff Woodruff. Eventual was also victorious for the Geoff Woodruff yard, and Strategic News was the winner for the Dylan Cooner yard. He now stands at stud in KwaZulu-Natal at the Rathmore stud. There was Wagner, trained by Joey Soma. He's the son of Tiger Ridge, bred by Mary Slack. And of course, he was trained at Turffontein. All the rest of the winners since 1999, bar those 4 horses, have been trained here at Randjiesfontein, including Louis the King, Dance with the Devil, Flirtation, Wolf Whistle. You can go right through the menu. There's a lot of them, including Tyson from the stable of Stuart Pettigrew, who's got Easy Lover in this year's race. But you know, they say there are lies, there are damned lies, and there are statistics. And the one statistic that is absolutely irrefutable is the fact that Louis the King is the only horse in the world ever to have won the Triple Crown and the Sansui Summer Cup with top weight. So out of sheer respect for the son of Black Miniloosh, who now goes off to stud, let's catch up with his trainer Geoff Woodruff, who has got 3 runners in this year's Sansui Summer Cup, and pay tribute to the great Louis the King.
I must say I'm a great believer in statistics, and I would honestly say, you know, that he's right up there with the very, very best we've ever had. And going into the Derby when he did finish off the Triple Crown, I must say, just chatting with Robbie earlier in the day, we were supremely confident. I mean, one must never be overconfident, but we were supremely confident of his ability to beat that field, and I think he did it in some style.
Louis the King is to the outside. Bold Inspiration. Kalua Castle is running the race of his life as well. Kalua Castle, Louis the King. These 2 go clear of the rest of the field. No Worries is in 3rd. Kalua Castle got a length to spare. Louis the King is trying to defend his crown. Kalua Castle, Louis the King. Woodruff 1-2. Louis the King stays king. Louis the King wins the Gauteng Sansui Summer Cup.
The Sansui Summer Cup, he'd had an absolutely perfect preparation with a big weight and a bad draw in the charity mile, and he flashed up late. It was just the perfect prep.
Yeah, it was. You know, the charity mile, if they run well there, then they're likely to run well in the Summer Cup. So we found that with Eventual. He ran a good second with top weight and an outside draw, and duly went and won the Summer Cup. And you know, horses need good preps, and you know, he was the type of horse really that generally took a run to get him going, maybe, or he just showed up on the day anyway.
Let's talk history now. A horse like Millreef actually broke a leg. They cast him, and he survived. This horse looks like he's going out of his cotton-picking mind because he looks so well, and obviously you've got him bandaged. Is he a danger to himself, or is he actually quite sensible and just showing signs of being rather playful?
A bit of both. He's probably a danger to himself and his groom, but he is very playful, of course. I mean, he's been cooped up in a stable, you know, was for 3 months, had 3 months of box rest. Great job by the vets, by the way. I mean, they really, they just saw to it that, you know, nothing was going to go wrong. And we've obviously x-rayed him a couple of times now, and it looks great. It almost looks good enough to race again, but you wouldn't do it. You know, obviously other plans. Yeah, he's certainly sound enough to continue with life, put it that way.
Well, he's just had a roll behind you, and he's got up like a 2-year-old, and it's wonderful. It's heartwarming to see his recovery.
Yeah, it is. It's terrifying to see him when he is out, and the poor groom's dangling on the end of the lead rein and getting dragged all over the place with him bucking. But well, that will become the stud manager's worry now. I just hope you know, we can get him down to the Cape safely and you know, get him installed.
Okay, Sansui Summer Cup 2015. You've got 2 live wires that we're aware of in Master Sabina and Deo Juvente, who's put his hand up this last weekend in no uncertain terms.
Master Sabina in particular could do with a good draw because of his style of running. He is a horse that likes to, you know, come from a bit off them, and if you can sort of jump from a reasonable draw, sit midfield, then he'll be a huge runner. And Deo Juvente, I think, is a lot easier. He's one of those horses who's got gate speed, and you can just pop him up there, place him. And I think he's with a galloping weight. Sean Cormac is riding him. I think we'll just pop him out and have him handy and let him run his race. He's a terrific horse on the stand side track. And you know, I've been waiting I didn't really want to have to go to the Victory Moon, sort of a last gasp sort of qualifier. But, you know, our hands were tied. We had nowhere else to run him but the inside track in the wrong sort of races as well. Yeah, you know, last year we were kind of dogged with, well, we think it was a rhinopneumonitis. We don't know. You know, I hate to say virus. It always sounds like an excuse. But sure, the horses weren't running well. And he was a major sufferer of that. He ran some pretty nice races and then 2 very poor ones. But obviously excuses for that. He came back to, after quite a lengthy layoff, and won a 7 furlong straight at the Vaal, which I thought was a super run. It really was a terrific run with top weight. And followed up with okay, probably never threatening 7th, I think, in the Charity Mile. But it was still a good run. And we've always felt with his style and just, you know, his sort of relaxed gallop up handy, he's one of those horses, that 10 furlongs would suit him. Most of the jocks that have ridden him feel that he needs a 10 furlong. Well, you know, now's his opportunity from a 1 draw. What a pleasure.
Andrew is doing well. I thought he ran well last time. He ran on quite well in the race, along with a lot of other horses, let it be said. I think there's about 6 or 7 that finished really well out of that Charity Mile form. But he's improved. I mean, he'll still improve more. It's only his 2nd run in South Africa. I mean, he's got his quirks and he's got his issues. You know, he's an older horse, but he's improved and he certainly has got the ability. A little bit of rain will always help. But I think he's a horse that's very capable.
All right, now moving on to the filly, the Centenary. She's in a rich vein of form. She continues to improve and got a handy galloping weight.
Well, I think both fillies are got handy galloping weights. The Centenary is a filly that finishes very well since we've changed her tactics and dropping off the pace. She finishes very well. You know, the Marmalade form is quite good. You know, there's quite a lot of form lines there with a few horses in the Summer Cup. So she's, you know, on that, I mean, she could run into the money. I can't, you know, it'd be very difficult for her to win a race like this, but she might just be a little outclassed. Alarm's the same. We got a bonus from the handicapper, dropping her 4 pounds after running 4th in a Group 2. It was a strange one, I thought, but anyway, I'm not going to complain. We always complain when he's putting them up. Yeah. But the consistency has got me a little confused, let it be said. Horses that need to be dropped never get dropped, and horses that are actually running well get dropped. Go figure. Anyway, that's another debate. It might help her. Again, a filly, we're going to change tactics. She's always raced handy. I'd like to see her from off the pace now. I think she's always been doing a little bit too much up front. So I think there's enough speed in the race. And it's quality speed, you know, it's not just cheap speed. It's horses that can sit up there and stay up there. So it'll help her.
I think we're all on the same page that we were a little concerned when he cantered down. But he found himself a long way back in the race. And especially with the new gravel, it's not like you have all the room in the world. You encounter traffic problems, and you know, he ran on very, very smartly. He ran past a lot of good horses, and I thought that run was still full of merit. Obviously, that was the last one for him of the season. I think he's freshened up very, very well. You know, it's hard to go into a Group 1 against another horse where he's beaten you at the same weights by 3 lengths, and you know, your weight for age obviously comes into play, and hence you find yourself on the wrong side of the handicapping with him again. But hopefully we have that we've made that weight for age improvement. We're hoping we have. You know, there was quite a bit to work with him going into the Charity Mile. Obviously I made no secret of the fact that I think half the deficits had a brilliant preparation as well, but he was slightly more ready than French Navy for that Charity Mile. And I think if you look at the traffic problems that French Navy encountered and the way he ran on resolutely as he did, I think you have to be quite confident that he should have improved quite a bit from there.
I just want to come back to times quickly, because I looked at the collateral times on the day of the Vodacom Durban July and the Consolation. Now, the year before, Master Sabina had run a faster time in a small field than the Vodacom Durban July itself. Conversely, this year, a horse called Ultimate Dollar would have been beaten 12 lengths had he been in the Vodacom Durban July, given the pace of the Consolation. Once again, different kind of race completely. But these are the horses that haven't really been tested against the big guns like French Navy and Power King.
Yeah, listen, I mean, if you look at a horse like Saint-Tropez, he looks like he's got a massive chance. He's got a good weight. Anton Marcus prepared to get down to that type of weight. He must feel he's a massive runner. But as you say, they have been beating each other, him and Ultimate Dollar, and obviously it was a win full of merit on the Haarveld, and the form has worked out. They're still quite unexposed against the better horses. So, or 53, he may be very well handicapped. Maybe he's not that well handicapped, but I mean, he hasn't been exposed against the pool of horses that we are talking about. But yeah, I would think a horse like that, Saint-Tropez, has definitely got that come on look, and he's a horse to respect.
400 to go, Alarm. Here comes Saint-Tropez down the centre, making up good ground. Saint-Tropez hits the front 300 out. Disco L, Easy Lover on the outside, Alarm and Deo Juvente. It's Saint-Tropez from Alarm. Disco L, Deo Juvente inside the last 100. But in front, Saint-Tropez goes strongly from Alarm, and it's going to be Saint-Tropez the winner. Second, Alarm, Disco L a cracking third.
It's not a straightforward race by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, well, there's always you've got to go the two prep runs going into this race. Either you're going to go with the Victory Moon form, or you're going to go with the Charity Mile form. I would tend to think the Charity Mile form is normally more reliable, but I may be wrong. I mean, Aslan won from the Victory Moon. I think Tyson won from the Victory Moon. There are quite a few winners out of the Victory Moon too. I just think that the form that we are going to see come through is the Charity Mile.
And so here is Ultimate Dollar from the Justin Snaith stable, who ran in the Charity Mile under Piers Stradham, and absolutely nothing went right for him. The talk is that he's turned the corner and will prefer the extra 400 metres. Just for good measure, let's take a look at his stable companion Lineker, who runs in the Investec Dingons, after which we'll chat to Waiho Mawing about his charge, Mac Delago. Are you happy with this horse's preparation? He's always been talked about as a classic horse, coming along the right way.
Andrew, this horse has gone from strength to strength from last season. In hindsight, I'm sort of glad he never got a run in the July. I think he's obviously needed time off to mature and develop into the horse that he is now. I'm very, very pleased with his progress. I thought his run in the Charity Mile was unbelievable. He wasn't really working well. He needed the run. I think he'll come on. Glad we got rain. I think he's also going to enjoy the sting out of the ground. And at this stage, I'm quietly confident.
This is the Victory Moon Stakes, won by Deo Juvente, with a very fast finishing Easy Lover, who's trained by former Sansui Summer Cup winner Stuart Pettigrew, owned by Ian van Schalkwyk, who's had colours for over 35 years.
Easy Lover is flashing up on the outside, but Deo Juvente, a classy win by 3. Second to Easy Lover, Platinum Jet Alarm.
Not the best example of a clear gallop, but the third horse with the big white blaze and the blue cap is Easy Lover. And let's reflect back on Tyson's magnificent win in the Sansui Summer Cup.
300 metres left to go. Gang Related running on, and Tyson takes to the lead at the 200 metre mark now. There's a length and a half away to Gang Related, Tamarino Bay, his lordship, but the opposite corner, they've thrown in the towel. They've thrown in the towel, and it's all overs. And Tyson, it's a KO. Tyson, what a win. Gang Related behind that. Ella de Vittoria running on Tamarino Bay and his lordship. Alistair was behind those, but welcome the new champion, Tyson. It's Wagner, Ilabella, Il San Pedro, Pierre Jordan, White Line Fever, Showgunner is there, Zambuca runs behind those, then it's Vettel, it's still Wagner, the leader, Il San Pedro runs behind that with 150 to go, Showgunner looking right on Zambuca, White Line Fever, but it's Wagner, Wagner's going all the way into the Sansui Summer Cup, and Wagner's pulled it off. He's won the Sansui Summer Cup, hosted by Gauteng. Showgunner was in behind that in second. Il San Pedro behind those.
then scramble all the way down to the line. Here it comes now, and more Josie has won the Gauteng Sansui Summer Cup. Nothing is big unless it's Josie big. Book your tickets at CompuTicket and catch Mikasa, Musart, Casper Nyovest and Goldfish live.